They're the team making it all possible. They specialize in helping authors bring their stories to life through expert publishing, marketing, and media exposure. They're behind some of the most inspiring author journeys we've seen. If you're an author looking to elevate your book, Books to Life Marketing is the partner you want in your corner. And our guest today is Arthur Day. He's the author of Seesaw. It's a thriller. Arthur, thanks for stopping by. Just to let people know who Arthur is, Arthur Day has written five books: Seesaw, Death at Dawn, When Fear Knocks, The Velvet Trap, Samson and Delilah, and he's currently lives in Simsbury, Connecticut. Thanks, Arthur, for stopping by. I appreciate it, sir.
You're welcome. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, what inspired you to write Seesaw, and how did the idea for this trilogy first come to you?
Seesaw is actually the last book in the trilogy. The first one is Death at Dawn. And I got that idea when I was out for an early morning walk and trying to figure out what I was going to do next. And it suddenly appeared that, I had the heroine was in my head. And I thought, wow, female, trans. What could be better than contrasting that with the age of COVID, where flames were people were killing each other, buildings were being burned. It's ridiculous. So I thought that would make a nice contrast to the awful destruction during COVID. I think the Chinese must have had a chuckle or two
Oh,
watching us burn ourselves down.
oh yeah. It was a pretty tough time, rough time, wasn't it? COVID.
It was.
I mean, you never knew what was going to happen next. And depending on your situation, you had to reinvent yourself. And after that was over, it was a lot more different for sure. So let's kind of go to it. Seesaw is set during the COVID era. How did that moment in history shape the tone, tension, and emotional depth of the story?
Well, COVID affected a lot of people, some indirectly. Uh, they didn't know they were affected, but they were. Some directly, of course, if they're caught up in the melee, caught up in the riots. Uh, and against this backdrop, I wanted to present people that were real people and had real feelings, fell in love with each other. I thought that made a nice contrast and a good story.
No, it absolutely did make a good story because you we remember COVID. There were some TV shows from COVID, but
Yeah,
ultimately never really looking at the psychological damage and different things written in books. I mean, I've interviewed a lot of people, I haven't heard that, right? No one wants to go back to COVID. They want to say, I did something in COVID, but I didn't write about COVID in a storyline and presentation where it didn't really, pan out well in the movies. But the difference is now, uh, people have forgotten about COVID already. And it's kind of just to remind them of what we were going through.
yeah, and could go through again. The mob
Oh,
mentality takes over.
100%. And it could be another virus. We don't know. There's one out there now that they're trying to scare people with. So,
Yeah,
Diane Vargas is the trans female lead navigating love, danger, and justice. Why is it important for you to tell this story through her perspective?
I thought the female lead was a good lead. It's a solid lead. And up until now, all the female leads have been uh, really tough, dangerous, get the job done, no, keep the good guys up, knock the bad guys down. Uh, I thought this was a nice variation, and it showed that you can be your own person, regardless of what everybody else thinks, and still have a successful life.
Absolutely. And where did you kind of get that from? It looks like in your writing, you really think out of the box in your writing and looking at things that really a lot of people aren't covering.
Yeah, the writing really comes off the top of my head. I think about it a lot, and then I finally sit down and put something on the computer. But it has to be firmly in my head, and I have to like it there. before I deal with writing it down.
Yeah, because it's a process, right? For it comes from your head to the paper.
Yeah, yeah, it's not always an easy process. I
No,
hate
because you
writing,
don't know
actually.
what would you say?
I hate writing. It's a job. It's work. I hate work, but I do it anyway, just like the rest of us.
But you chose what you wanted to do as the work. Got
Yep.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The relationship between Diane and MJ is central to the story. What does their partnership represent to you in the midst of chaos and uncertainty?
Hope, hope in the midst of destruction,
Yeah,
hope that things will get better. Two people working to make things better, not only outside themselves, but within themselves.
yeah. I mean, when you talk about hope, hope is something that's hard to fathom at times, isn't it? It's
It is.
something that when things just go
Hope
wrong
is
and
hope is
yeah,
like fear. It's either there or it's not.
exactly. And let's talk about, with COVID, what did you with these characters show? What were people going through at this time with COVID? This is where was this placed? What area of the world was
Where
the
was
setting?
Whereas the setting is Rockmarsh, which is a little county, fictional county in Connecticut. Uh, I chose that because I live here, so I know the little town that I live in, and I know Connecticut since I grew up here. So I thought this was a natural to put the setting for my stories in Connecticut.
Totally. And how did you kind of respond to this? Meaning how the like when you were going through COVID during that time, how did a small town like Connecticut respond to this kind of pandemic?
Well, we had everything that the big cities had, but we had it in miniature. There were people down marching down Main Street, waving posters and flags. I don't think anything got burned or blown up, but people felt the same in small towns as they did in the cities. It was just less combustible.
Totally. So how did you balance the crime and murder investigation with deeper themes of identity, resilience, and humanity?
Well, crime, really, murder is part of humanity. I mean,
Yeah,
we can deny it. We can say, oh, this is something apart from us, but it's not. We're all capable of murder under the right circumstances. Look at the wars that we wage, and we send thousands and hundreds of thousands of young people off to war, and they march and they kill each other, and uh, that's murder. But they do it anyway.
right.
I thought that murder really is the other side of the stiletto blade from love.
And you know how popular murder is too, which is
Yeah,
not always the
yeah. People
greatest
love
thing.
to see other people getting killed.
Yeah. Why do you think it's more and more every day people like to? They wish they could kill somebody. It sounds like sometimes.
I'm sorry, I did not
No,
understand that.
I asked you basically, why do you think so many people are into murder mystery? Do you think it's because they wish they could have been at one point maybe murdered somebody? Why is there such a
Everybody
fascination?
likes to think that they could be the hero. They could come into um, a situation and solve it, and the bad guy goes away, falls down dead, whatever, and they remain triumphant. That's a romantic version, but everybody has a similar version in their mind. When you see something you don't like, you think, well, I could take care of that. Whether you could or not is beside the point.
No doubt. Without giving spoilers, how do you see Seesaw set the foundation for the larger trilogy, and what can readers expect as the story unfolds?
As I said, Seesaw is the last volume of the trilogy, not the first. The first was Death at Dawn, and that's what set up the whole story when Diane and MJ meet. and decide to collaborate on finding the person who murdered MJ's ex-wife, uh, and it went from there.
Wow. As an author writing LGBTQIA plus characters, how do you approach authenticity and responsibility in telling the story?
I did a lot of research. Plus, I am part of that community. I suppose if I had to categorize myself, I would have to say bi. So I'm the B, or part of the B. So I've had some experience. I know what it feels like, both the good and the bad. And so that's how I approach my books.
And especially being in a small town, that's hard too, right?
Yes, yeah, that's all part of it.
Yeah, because having those characters and how they unfold in this. And so if you know, I'm just going back just for you to understand, Arthur, because I'm just a follow-up question person, which I learned when I listened to my guest. Um, this trilogy, this is finishing up the trilogy. Is this same character in all three of the trilogy?
Yeah. In Death at Dawn, which is the first volume, uh, MJ and Diane meet and collaborate on a murder case. The second volume, Velvet Trap, they're still working under the guise of Sheriff John, uh, the sheriff of the county sheriff, and that's when they decide that they really do love each other, and they're in bed one night, and MJ says, "Well, let's get married," and Diane says, "Oh, how romantic can that be?" And she throws a pillow at him. Uh, Your wife never threw a pillow at you?
Oh yeah, I've had more from my ex-wife that she's done to me, but no.
So
But
anyway,
I mean, I don't mind as a big guy, my as 6'10", you know, close to 300 pounds. They could throw a pillow at me, they could smack me. Nothing's gonna phase me.
no, I guess not.
It's definitely not gonna phase me. So, um, it's interesting the way you're pointing these characters, right? And I like to look more into the trilogy for people. Can people read book three, even though they may not have
Yep.
read book one and two?
All books can be read separately. If I need to, I refer back to previous actions or previous murders or previous investigations, but all books can be read separately.
Oh, that's good. Okay. But you're hoping when people purchase book three, they're going to say, okay, I need to get book two and one
Yeah,
of the series.
I'm hoping.
And
Hope
that's
springs eternal.
and so out of the books you've written, the trilogies, all the books, or you wrote another book too in your career?
Uh, the trilogy, just those three books. Before
Okay.
that, I wrote Samson and Delilah and When Fear Knocks.
Okay. Okay. So you've written about five books. Wow.
Yeah,
And you plan on writing more, don't you?
yes.
So
I
how do
have
you
an
feel
idea
about
for the
yeah, go ahead,
follow-up
sir.
to the trilogy.
Okay. How do you feel about the trilogy ending this trilogy? Finally, whatever unfolds at the end. How do you feel about that?
I think it was a sad, but I'm hoping that it will make the readers sad, but in a sense, it completed the actions of the first two books.
Totally. I I can see what you're talking about because you're finally uh letting the readers finally get some of those missing points to finally say, okay, now it's making sense.
Yeah.
And how challenging is that as a writer to make sure you keep that whole storyline going throughout a trilogy?
Um, it wasn't all that hard, actually. The storyline seemed to flow through my mind. They met, they got engaged, they want to get married, they got married, and then the ending. Uh, so that was pretty much logical progression of human feelings.
It seems like it's a logical progression for sure, because you go from one to one to one to one, and then finally, there you go. And you said there could be a follow up, so these characters could appear again.
It's possible. Well, MJ can appear again.
Okay, well, we'll just say both could appear again. We're not
Okay,
gonna meaning
just for
there's
ha-has.
the ha-has, yeah. We need to, so meaning the fact is that you definitely could take some parts of this story and of the trilogy and add a follow-up and some new characters showing up in the story.
Yep, absolutely.
Any other books in the works for you, Arthur?
No, just that, just the one shadow book in my mind that I'm trying to mm, firm up and get onto the computer. So far, I have two paragraphs. Yay!
Hey, you said writing's hard for you. It's not easy, right? It's not, you don't enjoy it. So, so how do you figure all those things out? But I think it's great. So what have been the responses from readers? Have they stayed with you the most since publishing the series?
I think so. I can't swear to it, but I'm hoping that the readers will stay with me.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's the feedback been about people reading your books?
Well, the feedback I've gotten so far is positive from the people that read the book. They think it's not only uh, interesting fiction, has exciting murder, all this stuff, but it's also deeply moving, deeply human, concerning depths of feelings that most murder mysteries avoid for
Yeah,
obvious reasons.
and that's the challenge, right? Most murder mysteries, because you're adding a new component. So talking, letting the community know that you've written this book. How's the community? The community's responded well to it. Are you hoping to get to more and more people in that community saying, you know what, this is fantastic that you're writing in this lens, Arthur?
I'm hoping so. Maybe after talking with the media giant,
I mean, because
that
it's
will
I
help.
haven't heard of this stuff, but here's my marketing tips for you, Arthur. Basically, reach out to as many reviewers in the LGBTQ. I didn't. I guess I don't know all the acronym uh, community, and ask them and look for reviewers of the book, because that's who could take off. This is real niche that could take off huge once the right community knows about it.
Yep, I think you're right.
You gotta go full force with it. All content, everything that you talk about has to regard to that, because that's where the interesting thing comes. I don't know a lot of lead characters who are trans. I don't at all. In
No, I
movies,
think it's sort of unique.
television, it's really one to present to other people. But here's the thing: as an author, and I know you've written five plus books, because I'm already thinking you write your sixth soon. I think what you need to do is, in so many ways, is just get out there. Just get yourself out there, pick up the phone, call people, email people, look at the top podcasts that are in that community, and they're going to be blown away, especially because you are bi. So they can see this and say, you know what? This is great. We need more characters like this.
Yeah, I agree. Got to get out there.
Exactly, exactly. So many readers say Seesaw feels cinematic. Do you envision this story as a film or series? And how do you see it translating visually?
Translate well, at least the action part of it. You know, the murder, the destruction, COVID, all of this stuff. Mostly peaceful, while there's a burnt building in the background.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
an image that you don't get rid of.
there is a network, so there's an opportunity, Arthur. There is a networks. There are LGBTQ community networks that are out even on television now and streaming. Really, I would try to put this together into a screenplay and make sure you can go and shop this around, because it's a story that's different. And you have people right now listening and viewing this that are trans. or are trans advocates
I
that would
hope so.
say, oh, they are, and that they need to know that they need to pick this book up and then they need to have that next conversation. You know what I'm saying, Arthur? Because I
Yep.
really see a huge opportunity for you in this process. So, uh, where can are the best place people can find information on you? Before I'm going to even get before that,
The
what is
book's
your ultimate
available.
goal? Before we'll go to your website in a second, but where else can people find it? I mean, I was going to ask you is what do
Well,
you
the
think
book
your
is
ultimate
available on
dream is?
Amazon
Yeah, it's
and
all
my
over Amazon.
website, Arthur Day Writes,
Okay,
and
fantastic.
probably thriftbooks.com.
Fantastic. My question to you, Arthur, is what is your ultimate goal for this books? What do you want the readers to learn most?
The readers to come away feeling that they've uh, felt something that they didn't feel before, that they've learned something or felt something that made them feel different.
Exactly. And when you make them feel different, and in visualizing someone reading this book that is different, how they'll enjoy this. Especially everyone loves murder mystery, for sure, and investigation. What would you say? What genre do you like? Think this is more like in your writing? What types of murder mysteries do you enjoy that you
I think
write
it's
like?
it's in the thriller genre. The reader is constantly trying to get to the end, but it's constantly changing and increasing in intensity.
So, what
And then
murder
at the
genres
end,
do you like to read?
I like murder mysteries, obviously.
Do you have any favorites?
I don't remember. I've read most of them one way or another.
Got it.
Uh,
Any TV series that you're a
uh,
huge fan of?
CSI was
Yeah,
something I
yeah,
enjoyed.
no doubt. Yeah,
I and millions
for
of
sure.
others.
Absolutely. And how did you make sure you had the right authenticity in the three books regarding crime scene and stuff like that and murder?
Well, this was again a process of research uh, and reading books and watching movies uh, or watching documentaries, which were very helpful.
Sounds like it. And how long did it take you to write the entire series?
About 6 to 7 years.
Wow. So this is like saying goodbye in a way, the last book.
It said goodbye and then hello.
Hello, and write another book. How many books do you plan on writing in your life?
I have no idea. I wasn't even certain I was going to write another one.
Because you said you don't enjoy writing. How can you, what do you think if you don't enjoy writing, but what do you think you enjoy most, if anything, about writing?
It's not that I don't enjoy writing. I just have to sit down and actually type it out. That's just work. But I enjoy coming up with the ideas, throwing them around in my skull, uh, and coming up with something that I like, and I hope the reader likes.
100%. And the reader is so important to you. And so people listening and watching, when you read Arthur's books, make sure you give a nice 5-star Amazon review, share it with your friends, and tell everyone about Arthur's trilogy. Again,
There you
best
go.
place people can find you, Arthur. Where can they go? Where's your website, Arthur, for other people? One more time.
Arthur Day writes, and Seesaw looks like this.
Okay, fantastic. We appreciate it, Arthur. Thanks for the time and appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you, Neil. I enjoyed it.
I did
Hope to
too.
talk to you again.
All right. You're listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back.